Hello and welcome to a new episode of Velocity Kinetics. We are on part 10 of hashtag build an F1 team, which is the livery of my proposed team. Getting a couple of these bash out today. It's my second snow day. Everyone please drive safe. I had one of the most scary experiences of my life driving around Newcastle. That's not the fact it was Newcastle, which can just be scary in itself, but the snow and everything made it really dangerous. If you're not sure what I'm referring to, head over to the Velocity Kinetics Facebook page and look at the posts from the... what day was it? It was the 27th. Look at the posts from the 27th, because they were... that is exactly what happened. I basically had on a massive patch of ice, I had to resort to the handbrake and did a partial skid. I lost momentum on a hill and couldn't, and I don't know how I got it over the hill. So it doesn't matter what you're planning or preparing to do, just please, for God's sake, be careful. Anyway, back on to build an F1 team. I'll salvage some usability from these 2 snow days, I guess. Bored out my mind, really. But, what was I saying? Anyway, livery. The livery. What would I liverize my team as? Put as the paint? Well, if I've got Honda power, I've already mentioned in the wheels video that I was going to go for completely red alloys. If I was having Honda as the power, there'd have to be some element of red to the car. Now, I always quite liked the BAR Honda livery. But the problem is it's British American Racing, which is part of it. Also had backing from a tobacco company and things, so I probably couldn't use that livery because someone somewhere will find a way of trying to sue me for it. But if I also look at a lot of my cars on Forza, I tend to paint them in a wide variety of reds, whites and blacks, as in either red with a white stripe, white with a red stripe, black with a red stripe, and white double stripe sort of things. So it's hard to know what to do. As I mentioned in the explanation video what build an F1 team is, probably couldn't have scarlet red because I'm sure Ferrari would kill me for that, or I'd wake up with the mafia outside my house. But having seen some various liveries over the years, things like the Winfield Williams, that was a horrible livery. I'm trying to think which Williams it was. FW33, another Williams. It was okay, not brilliant, but it was okay. 34 looked good, 35 looked good. Various McLaren, the West McLarens looked pretty good. The McLarens in the orange looked pretty good. Obviously, the classic Marlboro McLarens look good. The Tyrrell Fords look good. Ferrari can't exactly go wrong with the red. Jordan had a striking livery in the yellow. Spiker in the orange. Arrows in the orange. Williams again, ancient years ago, white and green. Sauber with their white design. They had a black and white design when they came back as Sauber. Then we had white and blue with the BMW Sauber. So there's a lot I could choose from. I would have liked to have possibly gone down the black, white and red route, but that's Haas. And I've in previous years when there've been 2 teams with very similar designs, for instance, when it was Midland F1, I think it was just after they bought Jordan. It was either, I can't remember if it was Jordan Midland Spiker or Jordan Spiker Midland. By the way, the Midland one looked very similar to McLaren. I want to have the red in it. I'll probably have a red detail similar to what the Toro Rosso have got. I'll probably have a little bit of red flash on the engine cover and over the top of the side pods, and maybe a little red flash on the wing tips, as well as in the edges of the front and rear wing, as well as obviously the red wheels. Now, if I had Polestar or Volvo as my supplier, if it was Volvo normal, I'd have it as royal blue, the blue from the middle of their emblem. If it came on as Cyan Polestar Racing, then I'd have it as a cyan colour, and likewise the wheels would be cyan. If it was Cyan Polestar, I would be black, white with the cyan, and I'd be fine with that. The black and white makes it easier for sponsors, because a lot of sponsors are happy enough to change their colours into black and white for them to go on the car. Some, like RBS, were not happy to change the colour a few years ago, because McLaren wanted the RBS sponsorship, but the blue on the silver didn't stand out. Whereas Williams, being blue and white, they got the sponsorship. So most teams most places it'll be white on the car with the Honda design I would probably go down the route of trying, if say I managed to get Castrol as my sponsor, or as a sponsor, I would probably paint the car to look similar to the WTCC Civics with all the Castrol branding. You've probably seen Toyota Celicas from rallying a few years and years ago with similar designs on. That's probably what I would do. I'd pretty much red flash on the red tips on both wings, red wheels. I'd have a red flash down the back, down the engine cover for Honda to write Honda Hybrid or whatever they choose to write on there, or Mugen Honda, whatever they want to put on. Above that on the engine cover, I think I would go white and then have the number of my driver in black and obviously their flag. And then we've got space to put the sponsoring on there. And then going forwards, I would have probably black, white, and red stripage to stand out from the crowd. I'd probably go jet black down the nose to the tip. Yeah, it would. I think it would look quite interesting. Obviously, a lot of this would depend on sponsoring and if a sponsor insists on having a certain colour. But that's how I would do it if I could have my own choice. Now, some teams seem to run a matte paint job. Some of them seem to run a gloss one, and some go a bit mixed. The idea behind the matte is it somehow fills the holes in the paint and then makes it easy for the aero to work. To talking about the car as an aesthetic object, absolutely not. I don't really like the matte paint jobs. That said, the Red Bull RB14 camouflage paint job in matte looked good, so it can be done. I would probably go for a more traditional glossy finish, although I'd be curious to know what it looked like in matte. And again, a lot of it would also depend on what my sponsors say. And then I mentioned it going black, white, and cyan if I had cyan Polestar as the engine provider. What I would do, just to make the car visually stand out, the car would be pretty much cyan. The engine cover would be white. So then we can write Cyan Polestar Power on the back, or Volvo Power on the back, put the number on in black or grey, and then along the front we'll alternate between white and grey, with the cyan on there as well. So we're getting close to the end, to the end of this now. There's one thing I remember I haven't mentioned, because Russ mentioned it on one of the Facebook posts, so I'll address that in the next video. But let's say, keep safe, drive sensibly. Velocity Kinetics has been made in association with Road Race Parts. Top quality, best prices, no compromise. Head to roadraceparts.com to get parts for your racing vehicles now.